Let's talk about investing in comic books. Hey everybody, I appreciate you tuning in. If you're a first-time viewer, thanks for checking out the channel. I appreciate it. If you're a subscriber and a member of the Crew Without Fear, what's up, crew? If you like what you see, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I've uploaded new content. Today, I want to talk about comic books as an investment and investing in comic books. And I kind of just want to show off part of my collection today. I had an idea for a video that I'm thinking about getting some comic books graded for the first time. I've never dealt in graded comic books. I don't like graded comic books. I like raw stuff. I like to be able to read my stuff. And if it's slabbed, I can't read it unless I crack it open or read it digitally, pirate it, or buy the trades. I might do that, but I'm generally not a fan of graded books. So, but there's a couple books that are getting really hot, and I don't want them, and I would get more money if I graded them. So I'm thinking about it. So it got me thinking about, hey, let's talk about that. So today I want to talk about some books that I collected over my years as a collector. I've been collecting since I was 13 years old, so over 20 something years I've been collecting. And during my years of collecting, I've bought comics new, paid cover price for them, and today they're worth way more than I paid for them. So I just want to kind of show those off and just kind of talk about comic books as an investment for a little bit and give you all some steps to take so that you too could invest in comic books. So let's get it started. This first one I'm going to talk about. Now, you'll notice that most of these books that I'm talking about today are not old at all. They're not 20, 30-year-old comic books. So this first one I'm going to talk about is the Immortal Hulk #1. This is an amazing cover. It's an homage to an old issue of Hulk. I don't remember off the top of my head. I want to say issue 105, but I'll put it right here so that you can see a side-by-side comparison, and I'll correct the issue number if I'm wrong, but I think it's 105. Anyway, so Immortal Hulk is a pretty decently selling book at the moment. It's one of Marvel's best-selling books at the moment. It's still not selling more than 60,000 copies, but who am I? Anyway, so this book is, for the first year of this run, these books were hot, dude. And everybody was just going crazy about this book, and I don't really understand why, because as a lifelong Hulk fan, I didn't really care for this book at all, this title. I love this cover. I adore this cover. I have a poster of this cover that I have yet to put up because I need to get a frame for it, but I love this cover. I bought numerous copies of this cover, and when I sold all of my Immortal Hulks except for this one, I kept it for the cover, and I kept this one because this one is immaculate. The one that I sold had my thumbprint right here from where I was holding the book, because this is during Marvel's, hey, I'm going to use cheap ink phase. So I was able to find another one, and I kept it pristine. So this book came out on June 6th, 2018, and I paid $4.99 for this book. Okay. Here last week, A raw copy of Immortal Hulk #1 sold for $90. And a CGC 9.8 copy sold for $195. That's pretty dope. And this has only been out for 2 years. Crazy, right? Crazy. Now, there's still some heat for Immortal Hulk, but it's kind of died down a lot. But those early issues, like those first 12 to 16 issues of Immortal Hulk, those are still pretty pricey. Issue 1 and issue 2 go for the big bucks. $100, $200 stuff. That big bucks, not like thousands of dollars. Not like Avengers #1 big. So the next one I'd like to show you is the Amazing Spider-Man number 569 variant cover. And this wasn't a special variant cover. It's a B cover. And there for a little while, Amazing Spider-Man had an A and a B cover, and you could pick which one you wanted. Kind of like how Marvel does, or DC does currently with their A and B covers. So this is the one that I picked because when I bought it new, and because I liked it, and I didn't have a file at the time. I just bought it off the rack, and I bought this one, and I paid. It's on the back. I don't want to undo it. $2.99 or $3.99 for it. So we'll say I paid $4 for it. Okay. Recently, a raw one sold for $95. That cover is pretty dope if you're a Venom fan. Next up, we have Batman 635. It's the first appearance of Jason Todd as the Red Hood. You don't know it's Jason Todd, but you know it's the Red Hood. And so this is recently a raw copy of this sold for $125. I paid $225. Now remember though, I got a discount on these books, so I probably paid a little less than cover. So we're just gonna say I paid cover for them. Okay. This next one is blowing up huge, and comic books blow up. Currently, one of the reasons comic books blow up is because of movies getting made. Marvel Cinematic Universe, dude, that stuff, if someone's saying, hey, they're going to make a movie about this because those movies are so popular, those comics go crazy. And so there's a lot of talk with, spoiler, if you haven't watched Avengers Endgame and any of the Marvel movies after Avengers Endgame, don't watch past this point, okay? But if you're, everyone else in the world, Tony Stark's dead in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? So there's a lot of speculation that he's going to be replaced with Riri Williams. And so her first appearance is Invincible Iron Man number 7. I paid $3.99 for this book. I hate this book. I hate that character. She's terrible. I don't know why people are going to be great. Like most of the people that love Iron Man, if they make a movie about Riri, they're not going to like it. She's not a good character. But this book is crazy hot. This book sold recently, a raw copy for $72. A CGC 9.8 sold for $245 freaking dollars, bro. And this comic isn't even good. This is one of them that I'm planning on getting slabbed so that I can sell it, because I don't want it. I don't care about it. I don't care about Riri Williams. She's a terrible character. And if I can, I'd rather have like $250 than have this comic. So I'm thinking about it. Let me know in the comments if I should do it or not. The next one I want to talk about is, so Invincible Iron Man 7 is the first appearance of Riri. Invincible Iron Man number 9, which is a super dope cover. I love that cover. This is the first appearance of Riri in armor. And it's not her armor armor that she wears when she becomes Ironheart. It's just armor that she reverse engineered from Tony Stark's stuff. So this book came out on May 4th, 2016, and a raw copy last week sold for $92. A 9.8 CGC just sold for $500, bro. That's insane. That's insane. Just because she might be either getting a show on Disney Plus or a movie. And so, when you're investing in comic books, speculation is a huge part of it. What's a possible character that could be coming out in the future in a movie, or what's a future storyline that they're going to be using an old character that we haven't seen in a while. Like, speculation is like kind of what drives the comic book market at the moment, and me personally, like, I don't like that side of collecting comic books, because most of your comic speculators out there, like, that's all they do. They just speculate on which books to buy and grade them and then hold them until they pop. And when they pop, they sell them and they make buku bucks. That's cool. That's awesome. Like, right? Like, if that's your thing, you do it, man. That's awesome. But like, I tried to do that for a while, and like, I was buying stuff just solely based off of speculation and what could happen, and like, I was looking for hot books so I could buy them cheap, turn around and sell them. And I did that for a while, and I was pretty successful at it, but I got tired of doing it, man. And I really did. It made me not enjoy comic books as much. So I just kind of took a step back from that and went back to what I enjoyed, which is an important part of buying comics. Like, if you're going to buy comics that you enjoy. So next on the list, we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 607. That's a J. Scott Campbell cover. J. Scott Campbell covers are a big deal, because he's an amazing artist, and that stuff just retains value. So this book recently sold raw for $77. And for those of you that don't know, this is raw. It's not been officially graded. So, I mean, I could take this out of its plastic and read it and put it back in. That's raw. If this was in a big plastic slab with a grade on it, that's graded, for those of you that aren't aware. But so a raw issue of this sold for $77. A 9.8 sold for $189. And I paid $3 for this book. That's awesome. Like, and a lot of these I didn't know until like a year or two ago that these have gone up in value so much. I was just kind of looking around and I was like, what? I've got that book. Why is it so much? And it's just like, well, that's awesome. And so, I've got a bunch of comics. I'm going through like 10 books that I've bought brand new that have gone up in price. And most of these, like, before a year or two ago, I didn't know. And so this next one is getting some heat because there's a lot of rumor that Michael Keaton might be coming back to do a Batman Beyond movie, and where he plays an old Bruce Wayne. And that would be super dope. I would love to see that, because I love Michael Keaton Batman, and I love Michael Keaton. He's just a cool friggin' dude. And so if Batman Beyond, if they make a movie about that, all these books with Batman Beyond's first appearance in them and stuff, those are gaining heat. So in main DC Comics continuity, the first appearance of Batman Beyond is in Superman Batman Annual number 4. Now, this recently sold for $72 raw. A 9.8 CGC copy sold for $241. This was an annual, so it was a little more money when I bought it. I paid $5 for this book. There's also a second printing of this book where the background's red, and that goes, I think, for actually more money than this one. I may be wrong about that, but that's a lower print run than the first print was. So next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man Volume 3, number 4. It is the first appearance of Silk, and this comic came out on June 23rd, 2014, so 6 years ago. Raw, this just sold for $130. 9.8 sold for 300 smackaroos. Pretty awesome. And every other comic in this run, like, not worth squat. Like, it's just most of the issues, if they're worth anything other than cover price, it's not by much. So like this one issue right here, and all these other comics, this one $300. This next one is what really kind of opened my eyes, that a lot of these books that I've bought over the years have gained value, because I was just kind of doing some research on comic books and what was expensive, and I was mostly just doing that by like looking up stuff on eBay, right? And I came across this one, and I was like, what? I was blown away, man, because it's nuts. And so this next one is a highly coveted comic, and it is Detective Comics Volume 1, number 880. I bought this brand new. It is $2.99 cover price. Bought it brand new. It came out, sorry, it's in a top loader, and I prefer to load them in the bottom like that, so that would have been bad. Hold it just a little tighter. When I put them in my cabinets, I like this part to be at the top so it doesn't get grimy stuff in it from the top loader. Anyway, yeah, that could have been bad. Detective Comics 880 came out July 27th, 2011. Towards the very end of the heyday of DC Comics, or not heyday, but the good era of DC Comics before the terrible, awful, disgusting New 52 plagued us with awful versions of superheroes that we knew and loved. This came out July 27th, 2011. Paid $3 for it. This recently sold raw for $195. A 9.8 CGC sold for $600, bro. Awesome. I need to get more top loaders for the rest of these, because since I like raw, I keep them in these. But this one I would kind of want to get slabbed because it's worth so much, and it's only going to go up in value, and it's not even been out for 10 years yet, and it's already up to $600. That's nuts, man. And it's awesome. So there are very few comics in my collection that I would want to have slabbed and graded and hang on to them, and but this one is one of them. If they're like very expensive books, I would like to protect that investment. And then the last one is a little different. I did not buy this off of the stands. I ordered it. It is a variant that was only available through the artist's website, and that is Detective Comics number 1000, and it is the Alex Ross variant that is the Detective Comics 27 homage cover. I love this book so much. I was at work and I saw what time it was. I knew when the sale went live. I saw the time. I took a break real quick and I ran out in the parking lot grabbed my phone, because I can't have my phone at work, grabbed my phone and went to my favorites and placed my order, and it took me forever to place the order because there were so many people trying to order the book at the same time. And I was like, maybe I should order more than one. I was like, no. I'm just going to order one. I just want the cover. Okay, so I paid the invoices in the back. Total cost, you can see it. I paid $35.09 for it. This book, when I got it in the mail, was already going for like $200. And it's kind of stayed at that price point. A 9.8 CGC recently sold for $250. Alex Ross is currently selling these right now on his website, signed for $300 if you want to go get one. He's got some available with his signature on it, with his Herbie Hancock on it. But I paid $35 for it, and it immediately, once I got it, was worth way more than I paid for it. So that's some of my collection. That's some of the books that I've bought that I paid cover price, and they've since grown in value. So what are some steps that you could take to invest in comic books? So I got, the first step is easy. Number one, take care of your books. Okay? Bag them, board them, store them properly. Handle them with care. Make sure you're not damaging the spine. Don't fold them. Don't roll them up and stick them in your back pocket like Stan Lee said to do. Don't listen to Stan, dude. Don't listen to Stan. Take care of them. Bag them, board them, store them properly. Handle them with care. Be good to them, and they'll be good to you. So most of these books, like, I just rebagged and boarded them today because I haven't read them since I've bought them. And so they've just been standing, and like, they're in immaculate shape. They're in the spines are crisp, brother. So take care of your books. Number two, buy what you like. Okay? If you like it, it's a lot easier to take care of it, right? So buy what you like. If you like it, it makes taking care of it easier. If you like it, it just makes the hobby enjoyable, right? Because you like it. Like I said earlier, I don't buy primarily as an investment. I just don't. I buy because I enjoy them. I enjoy the stories and the characters and the art and the collecting aspect of it. Like, I like to collect them. And so buy what you enjoy. And if you enjoy just buying them to sell them, have at it, bro. You do you. Number three, invest in first appearances. If you are actually wanting to invest in comic books, steps 1 and 2 are for everybody. If you're going to buy it, buy what you like and take care of it. Step 3 is for people that are, wanting to make some money off of it. And so, if you are wanting to make some money and you are wanting to buy some books to sell, invest in first appearances. We looked back, those Iron Man first appearances are the first appearance of an awful character, terrible character, not a popular character at all, really, and she is bringing home $500. So invest in first appearances. I've got, so this Savage She-Hulk #1, this is also heating up because it talks about a She-Hulk show or a movie, and this is her first appearance. And this book has gone up quite a bit in value over the past year, and it's just going to keep getting higher. So, first appearance of She-Hulk, this is a huge book right now. Another example is this Thor book, okay? This is the first appearance of the Black Winter, like the first true appearance of him. Supposedly, it could change because he's a shapeshifter. So how do we really know? I don't know. But this book just came out like 2 weeks ago, and it's already selling for like 40 bones, man. Like 40, it's bones mean dollars? I don't know. $40. It's already selling for $40. So this one, I did buy 2 of them. Bought one to read, and I bought one to take care of and put back in the event that something happened. So if a first appearance of a character comes out in a book that you're buying, might be a good idea to buy 2 of them or more. Read one and put the other ones away, and take care of all of them. And maybe one day they'll go up in value for you. The other thing that I would say, other than buying first appearances, I would say buy that cool cover. Okay. This Detective Comics 880, the only reason that it is so high is because of the cover, and the print run's not huge on it. So low print run is another key factor. Year Zero from AWA Upshot Studios, whatever they're called. This is a very small print run, and it's going for around $40 as well, and it hasn't been out for but a couple months. So, but low print run and cool covers. So if you're buying comics and you just see a really cool cover, might be a good idea to get it, because if you think it's cool, other people might think it's cool too. Case in point, this one, this book, one of Todd McFarlane's most famous covers, and it's recently sold $60 raw and $160 in just a 9.0, and it's just because this cover's cool. And it is another fight between Wolverine and Hulk. That's another thing. So there you go. So there's some of my collection. I hope you enjoyed me showing it off, and that's my 4 biggest points that I would want to make about investing in comic books. But I do want to say one thing that I think is very important. For every one book that I've got that went up in value, I've probably got 200 or 300 that stayed where they were, or even lost value. There's a lot of books that I bought in dollar bins, and they were way more than $1 on their cover. So just because I've got some success stories doesn't mean that every book you buy is going to be a big hit. So remember that. Remember that buying comic books is not a get-rich-quick thing, because I know a lot of people that have owned comic book stores, and they are not rich at all. Quite the opposite, actually. I follow a lot of YouTubers that buy and sell comic books a lot. And you can do well buying and selling comic books. But as someone who has bought and sold comic books, it kind of overtakes the hobby portion of it. And, that's, I buy what I buy to read it and enjoy it. And maybe one day pass it on to my kids. And maybe one day they'll be able to sell it, make some money off of it, and do a bunch of cool stuff. Unless my kids are crap, then just screw my kids. Then I'm just going to sell it myself and buy like a Batmobile or something, Why not? All right, so be excellent to each other. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.